Yo, what's good, everybody? We're gonna have the beers with Barton. It is Wednesday, May 7th, 2025. Hope everyone's having a great week. We're past the halfway point. So this episode, probably a little bit different than past. I give updates on activities and events and where we're going in life, and usually they're happy, or they could be sad if like one of my team loses. But this one's a little personal. So I'm just going to hop into it. About a month ago, took Potter to the vet to get a Bordetella shot because we had to board him the following week for my best friend and worst best friend's wedding. They got married. And the weird thing is I probably wouldn't have done it then because I think his Bordetella shot was good for maybe another month. And we're actually not taking any trips until the end of this month, May. I probably would have just waited. But the timing had to go, got him in. And every time I'm there, I always have his nails done and also his anal glands expressed. You know, dogs, they don't have pants, man, or butt cheek. So it happens. Anyways, normal routine. The vet calls me, said, hey, I'm expressing one of his anal glands. Found this really small bump on the left side. We probably should get it checked out. I was like, yeah, it makes sense. He'd had a couple other like fatty bumps. The last 6 months, a year, they tested those that were just fatty, because he's getting older. So that's kind of what I thought it was, even though the location was different. Anyway, found it. They did a test, and they said, hey, we'll call you in about a week. Cool. So go to the wedding the next week, get home. It's a Friday. The vet calls me at like 6 o'clock and says, hey, we got the test results back. It's cancerous. I'm like, wow, did not expect that. The type of cancer it is apparently is an extremely aggressive cancer, and it attacks like the lymph nodes up through the lungs, even the spine. It's a pretty common cancer apparently. So the vet said, hey, it's super, super small. I'm actually shocked that the tech vet was even able to find this. That's how small it is. But time is of the essence here. She referred me to a couple oncologists in the area. Cool. A little overwhelming, but made some calls. One of them, which is in Charlotte, close to us, wasn't able to get us in for like a month. So it would have been the end of May until they could even see us. Called the other one, which is in Matthews, which is like 45, it's like 30 plus miles, 45 minutes or so away from us. But they were able to get me in last Friday. I think that was May 2nd. So drive all the way down there on Friday. They do a ton of tests. They shaved him down, did x-rays, did a sonogram, took blood, like just anything and everything. Read the test results, confirmed, yeah, this is an aggressive cancer. Crazy they even found it with how small it is. The doctor even said, if I didn't have, the results and I didn't know where I'm looking, I wouldn't have even found it. Like, it's incredible they even found it. Leaving with us, we're going to do a bunch of tests. Cool. Drive all the way back up Friday morning, and of course I'm anxious. The doctor did say the good news is with this type of cancer is it's common. They know exactly how to treat it, and there's really no black or white. If it's spread, which it does very quickly, that's a different conversation. Or if it hasn't spread yet, we talk about, what next steps are. Cool. So get a text a couple hours later saying, hey, test results are back. You can pick up Potter whenever. And the doctor will go over the test results with you. And I'm like, great. They didn't call me and tell me anything. Like, is that bad news? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. So Jess and I hop in the car, drive back down there. It's like 1:30 Friday afternoon. Talked to the doctor. He's great. Said, hey, did a ton of tests, which I hope they did for $1,500. Nothing showing up in his lungs, nothing in the sonogram, so the lymph nodes are okay. Pretty good. We'll have the radiologist, confirm the x-rays are not, showing anything. But from what I can see, and I know what to look for, it looks good. I'd recommend that we set you up for consultation with the surgeon and that we're recommending surgery. I'm like, yes, whatever we're going to do, let's do it. So get home, still kind of dealing with it. And, poor guy got a haircut on his tummy. So he's bald. He's all soft. Just kind of hang out with him for the week. So we did have the surgeon consultation this morning. So I left this morning about 8 o'clock, took him all the way back down there, talked to the surgeon. She was awesome. Explained everything, said, this is common, especially in beagles. I've seen this a million times. Here's the surgery. extremely invasive since it's on the anal sac. So they're gonna have to cut them open pretty good and remove that whole sac, and then some tissue around it, because it's surrounded by muscle and veins. So it's a very serious surgery. So he's going in for surgery tomorrow. Obviously, the diagnosis is good. The doctor feels very confident about everything, and so we'll be giving him some happy pills tonight, which helps him with his anxiety and just calms him down because he's crazy. And then giving to him, waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, giving it to him again, and then heading down about 6:30 back to Matthews to drop him off by around 7ish. She'll do the surgery pretty early in the morning, and then they will keep him for 24 hours. Overnight they monitor him 24/7, make sure his vitals are good, recheck his blood and everything. After the surgery is done, with how quick things can move, they'll send the removed area that they remove off to get tested again, just to see how much is around there. But they're cutting them open, they're removing a really big chunk, even though it's a small thing, and there's muscle around there and veins, so it's going to be very painful. So pretty long recovery. She said at least 2 weeks. He'll have to be on medicine, not only to help with any type of infection, but just to keep him calm, because they're gonna have to shave his entire butt. And so not only will it be itchy and irritated, when the hair grows back, but also, it's going to be a pretty big incision. So we'll be doing some stitches inside, and then stitches on the outside, obviously. So dogs want to open that up, it's going to be irritable, and he's not going to know. So if that thing opens up, we're in a world of trouble. So for about 2 weeks, we're really going to have to be coned 24/7, make sure he's not scooting, and just really, really be on top of this. It's going to be stressful. Jess and I are going to have to make sure someone's always home with them. We're switching back and forth. So it's going to be pretty crazy for a couple weeks, and then we'll go for a post-op. And then if they say about 2 weeks, could be sooner, could be later, that he heals, and the hair will start growing back, and he should be good to go. So very hopeful, and trying to keep a positive mind. The doctor felt very good. She said she's done this before. This is, she diagrammed on a whiteboard exactly, what the surgery is going to be, what she's going to be removing, what it looked like, and everything. And he's a smaller dog, so the incision will be a little bit smaller, but they definitely have to not only remove that area, but, some stuff around it just to make sure. Post-op, 2 weeks, and then he'll go back a month after that to do more tests to just ensure, they got everything. And also depending on what that sample comes back as tested, if it's, there's more cancer that they found in it, so it could be, potentially higher threat of spreading, or nope, I think they're good and they can see good cells, that means they got everything out, or incomplete, where they just don't know. And then he'll be probably every 3 months, the first 6 months or so, he'll go every 3 months, and then every 6 months, and then at least once a year. But he's 8.5, so he's not the youngest guy in the world, but he's not the oldest. I think his breed, averages 12 to 13 years. So we're in that range of 4 to 5 years, which is crazy, which Michaela will be going to college in about 4 years. So doing the math on that. But they also said this type of cancer, if they remove everything, it's usually 2 to 4 years on average. If it ever returns, it could attack the other side. But he's young enough. He's got a good heart. He does have a very small heart murmur that they know about. But I feel like we're in good hands. They're going to monitor him 24/7. Obviously, it's going to be a long couple weeks. And then if everything goes great, there's no complications. Probably pretty stressful. Probably not a lot of sleep around here for a couple weeks, keeping our eyes on him. And I'm sure the medicine that's going to make him loopy is going to be interesting. But yeah, so... big feelings right now. Obviously, very, very thankful that they found it and that there's a path forward and a candidate. He's a good candidate for surgery. They recommend it. They don't think there'll have to be any radiation or chemo, but we won't know more until after the surgery. So, yeah, it's been pretty emotional roller coaster the last couple of weeks, not only getting the diagnosis, but then trying to get him in, and then actually going down there and talking to a doctor, and then all the tests, and then the surgeon today. But after talking to the surgeon today, I feel really good about, where we're going with this. So anyways, that's what's going on. If anybody knows me at all, knows that Potter is my dude. He was not my dude when we first got him. We lost Chandler when he was 14 and a half, and we took about a 6-month break after that. It was really tough the last 6 months. He had an enlarged heart, so we were dealing with just, poor guy was going blind, was peeing in the house, couldn't get outside. But, we knew it was time. He let us know. But for about 6 months, May of 2017 is when we lost Chandler. Just trying to grieve and get over it. And then I really started to get depressed, I'll be honest, about just an empty home. I was like, I need a dog. I wasn't happy. So the lovely Mrs. Beers with Barton found Potter, who reminded us of Chandler a little bit in the face because he's a Beagle Dachshund, but definitely more Beagle. And we went and rescued him. And the rest is history. But for the first, it was about 6 months when we got him. I forgot how crazy puppies are, especially Beagles. I mean, he was terrible. He was digging. We had a 4-foot fence that covered half our yard when we bought the house. We had to do 6 foot and cover the whole one. He ran. He was going to jump off the retaining wall over the fence. Like, he was a nightmare. He'd jump on the tables. He'd get into stuff, garbage. Like, he never listened. He was such a crazy boy. And of course, I was just comparing him to Chandler the whole time, that Chandler's so much better. He didn't do any of this stuff. And, Jessica had to remind me that, yeah, he did. You just don't remember because it was 15 years ago. But, as he got older and mellowed a little bit, and, we became buddies. We rescued him in October 2017. And then COVID hit a couple years later, and we were all home, and me and him were best buds. And it's been the same ever since. He follows me everywhere. He loves Jessica and he loves Michaela, but he's my dude. And I tend to work from home a lot more. Well, actually, Jessica does now, but he spends time with me when I'm home. He really does love Michaela, though. Gets super excited when she gets home. But he's such a huge part of our family, and we love him to death, obviously. These types of things aren't easy to go through, even though it's just a dog. They're part of your family, and they're not cheap either. And so Jess and I are very thankful that we have the finances to, be able to make this decision, and in that we decide not to do something because of finances. Believe me, I don't want to spend, $6,000-$7,000 on a surgery for Potter, but I'll do it every time if I've got any type of chance to have him for many years to come, which is what we're hoping for. So probably won't get much sleep tonight. I got to keep an eye on the clock. He can't have any food past 10, so he's already eaten dinner, but he'll get some good treats tonight. And then first round of medicine tonight at 10, and then wake up early at about 5, give him his second round about 5:30ish, and then hit the road about 6:30 to get him there around 7 or so. And I won't see my little dude. I even took a half day on Friday so I can go pick him up and then just hang out with him, because I'm sure he's going to be out of it. But also he's going to need some love and 24 hours of the eyes on him. So it's been emotional, but we're really happy with where we're at. It's going to be a tough couple of weeks, but we're just, fingers crossed, throwing prayers up that he gets everything goes well, no complications, and he's able to heal quickly and get back to some normalcy. Of course, we have a trip planned to California 3 weeks from today. We're supposed to fly out, so in essence, the timing is good. If everything goes well, he should be cleared in 2 weeks, and so we shouldn't have a problem, because then we'll have another week even before we leave. Don't feel warm and fuzzy about it, but it is what it is. So that is where we're at. In a worst case scenario, if we have to cancel it, we may be out some plane tickets, but hotels and car rental and everything else we can, we've reserved but haven't paid for, so we can cancel. It'll suck because we're looking forward to it, especially because Michaela graduates in a couple weeks from 8th grade, but Potter's number one right now, so fingers crossed, pretty hopeful. I don't have a lot of beer in my house. I pretty much only have Modelo's because that's all I've been drinking lately if I'm drinking, so I think I've done this one a couple times. The macro dose, kind of how I feel right now, man. A macro dose of life just smacking us in the face. Life is so busy with work. Michaela keeps us busy. And then you add something like this into it, which just really kind of puts things into perspective, though, obviously. And we're just so thankful that, I'm taking it as a sign, because I wouldn't have taken him for another month or so to even get on that shot and have his anal glands done, because I think I just done a couple months before. I usually go every 3 or 4 months with him. He wasn't scooting, so I didn't feel like I needed to take him. So it was probably at least a month, if not 2 months earlier than normal. And whoever this vet tech was that found it, the doctors were astonished that they said it is so small that they are just shocked that it was found. So thankful on the timing, and it looks like it has not spread. So have to go through the surgery, which is big. But we're doing it for a reason. So again, that's what's going on with us. The Pop man, such a big part of our lives, man. We love that dude so much. And I couldn't imagine life without him right now. I've already, like I said, done the math. He'll be 12, getting close to 13 when Michaela leaves for college. Man, if I lost both of them at the same time, and lost obviously is not the right word for Michaela. If Michaela left for her next stage of life, and we lost Potter at that same time. I don't know if it'd be easier to lose him a little early so I could live with it, or I got some extra time, but just not like that summer before. So, but we're hopeful that with this and everything goes well, that we'll get a chance to get another couple of years out of him. So this one's for you, Pot, the old macro dose, 6.9er. Man, like I said, probably won't get much sleep tonight. Not only because I've got to give medicine within about 7 hours of each other, but also I'm just a little anxious. Make sure I get him there on time, make sure he's good, make sure he gets enough treats tonight to tide him over, because he won't be probably eating for a good 12, 16 hours. So, all right, Pot, I love you to death, man. You're worth it all. And prayers up. That's a delicious beer, and I'm hopeful that it's a celebratory beer. So, all right, everybody, that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. A lot of information. It's a very, very, very long video, so I don't know if anyone will watch it or if they'll watch it through, but I had to get this one off my chest. And after the last couple of weeks of going through everything, and now we not only have really good answers, which we felt pretty good on Friday, we felt solid on Friday, but after talking to the surgeon today and knowing what the next couple of weeks will look like, what the procedure will look like, and they'll be monitoring him like there's no tomorrow. So cheers to you, Pop. Love you, bud. Oh, almost had a burp. And that's it. Until next time, deuces. Love you, Pop, man.